What is up, everybody? This is Alex with Shooters Resale. Welcome back to this week's video. We're going to give you a week 4 update and see how we're doing on our eBay journey. If you're new to the channel, make sure to like and subscribe. And if you're new, just to recap, we started off the beginning of April with 250 listings. And the question was, how many movies can sell on eBay? Do movies still sell? What movie is selling? How much can you make? And guess what? Today we've got some numbers. So behind me, as you can see, is still lots of movies left. In the month of May, I think we're going to do something even crazier. I think we're going to try for the big old 5-0 and see if we can do 500 listings. So I didn't get much traction with viewership on 250 listings. There's a few folks I know that's clicking on the video, but if you're definitely into this stuff, please make sure to subscribe for more of this stuff. I do love talking about selling physical media on eBay. And I'm going to rant a little bit today about Facebook Marketplace. It's been inevitable that I've been wanting to talk about it. I've sold a few hundred items on there. I think probably 600 items or so. Gotten a few hundred ratings, had a few customer issues, things like that with the platform. So I'm going to talk more about that. So let's jump in. Okay, so we are back, of course, in the cave. As we see behind me, of course, all the movies are still growing. I've added movies, tons of movies lately. I'm just excited. April was a month where we did a lot. And so, you know what? If you don't know anything about this, my goal is to make money really just to offset the cost of buying more movies behind me. And I think I'm going to do my best, soon, to do a collection number. I don't even know the number of my collection, no joke. That's not a lot. I know people have a lot more than me, but I really don't know the number, like not even close. I couldn't even tell you. It would be like looking at a can of marbles or something like that, trying to guess how many's in it. But week 4 update, here we go. So some big O numbers. First of all, we had quite the week, honestly. We had 14 total items sell out of the eBay store this week, 14, which is a huge number if you ask me. 13 of those were individual sales. So we had 13 sales, One of those was for 2 movies. And I'll talk a little bit more about that, I guess. I ended up changing up the promotion for May and doing 25% off. And I started that promotion a little early. So anyway, those movies got bundled into that. But anyway, I included that because that was in the month of April. So here we go. Here are the numbers for week 4 of our eBay journey on for selling DVDs on eBay. Week 4, we actually made a sales of $106.60. $106.60. With shipping taking out of all of that, looks like we're at a profit for the week of $61.94. So again, nothing too crazy, but 61 bucks is, profit. We got to still take out eBay fees. So that's, again, something we got to think about. And then the cost per how much it costs to ship the stuff, but whatever. Long story short, we did that for the week. And of course, that's now going to give us some monthly numbers in a little bit. But first off, week 4 updates on how many metrics and stuff like that. Let's talk about that now. Okay, now for the meat and potatoes of week 4's numbers. So we have total impressions for week 4, as far as total impressions, 68,200 for week 4 on our eBay's listing. So 68,200 impressions. Our click-through rate was 0.6%. So again, all of this is kind of trending throughout the month. If you're new to this week's video, we've been studying how many movies can you sell on eBay. And so that's a metric that's kind of stayed the same. And then of course, the actual conversion rate is still around that 2.6% rate as well, 2.5, 2.6% rate for this week. So again, all of that stuff kind of stayed the same throughout the entire month. So that's kind of interesting to think about how many people saw our stuff. So I don't know the actual total number. I probably should have done the total number for impressions, but I do have some total numbers that are coming up right now. So some total numbers. First of all, the question we started off with at the beginning of the month was how many movies can sell? And we started with 250. Now, I already admitted I had to keep listing. I don't know what it is about eBay. As you guys know, if you've ever listed on eBay, at least for me in my experience, I sell. Of course, it's kind of common. The more items you sell, but there's something, I've even seen it in the traffic of my store. Days I didn't list, you can see there's actual traffic metrics that you can see. And then when I listed it towards the end of the month, I had these boost of sales this last week. And so anyway, 44 actual DVDs sold. There's your answer for how many movies can sell in a month on eBay in the given month of April. So nothing special about April. 44 units sold. So 44 DVDs, Blu-rays, just a sprinkle of 4Ks that were sold in the store. So 44 total for the month, which is pretty awesome, not including the variation listings and all of that. And so the next up we get to talk about is estimated profit for the entire month. All 4 weeks added together, if my math is correct, should give us, with this week's income, $253.19 for estimated profit. Again, we got to take out eBay fees and all of that, but still you're looking at close to $200 clearing that profit. And that's actually not bad when you think about it, because if you remember what I said in another video prior to this, go check it out about media pallets. You can find a media pallet for, just depends on where you live, for sometimes $250, $300. So you get 2 of them, pay one big shipping cost like I did. I paid $550 all the way delivered to me. So if I can make 1 month back half of my money, it's a win-win. So anyway, if you're looking into the game about selling physical media, definitely look out media pallets, or just look at selling your own collection. I think many of us don't realize how many things we have on our shelves that can totally be listed on eBay. I promise you, I get bored and I just start listening to my own stuff on eBay. So, but that's it for the update on week 4 update and the actual total recap. So we sold again 44 units and we had $253.19 coming into the piggy bank, which is awesome. And that's a great update for anyone that's wanting to check out eBay. Selling DVDs, most of those were DVDs. I had Blu-rays listed. I promise you, most of those were DVDs. One specific, I didn't mention this yet. I'll throw up that listing. I forgot to mention it, but I will mention this week's big numbered premium was $16.99, a Cure for Wellness. I've sold this specific DVD. I actually found the Blu-ray with the slipcover, so I knew for a fact it was a win. And as you can see, it sold for $16.99 free shipping. Always a win when you have $2 into a movie and you can make $10 no problem after shipping. So that's a huge win this week. So be on the lookout for that if you're ever in the game and you're ever curious of another title that's kindly looked at. There you go. Cure for Wellness, $16.99 is what the big number for this was this week. Everything else, though, was kind of normal price. I should probably do a common price, but it's kind of hard. Sometimes people are bundling, so that those numbers sometimes are a little inconsistent. So anyway, that's it for this week's video. I'm going to give you guys an update a little bit later when it comes to Facebook Marketplace. I will talk about that later in this video, actually, in the next clip. So let's talk about that. Facebook Marketplace, let's talk about it. I think there's something to talk about with that. Okay, so Facebook Marketplace. Now, there's a few things that we could start with. There is some good things that you guys need to know of if you're looking at selling for fees-wise. You're looking at a 5% selling fee. So instead of eBay, depending on what category you're selling on eBay, 14, 15% or whatever, sometimes I pay for DVDs. 5% on Facebook Marketplace. It also ties over. You can direct that into your bank account, into your PayPal, similar to everything else. There's a lot of this. First off, I got to tell you, there's a huge difference between eBay, of course, and everything. And everyone's going to beat me to this on YouTube. I'm not the first person to mention this by any means. But the amount of people that you can reach. I remember doing a month where I was doing the hardest possible listing I could. I remember trying to get 365 listings on Facebook Marketplace. And I did that. I accomplished that. And I don't know what happened, but it, just like with anything, I think I just bulked it out too much and over flooded it. And my stuff, it was a lot of work and so much time invested. And as you can see, Facebook does have algorithms that you can see, or not algorithms, but numbers and metrics you can kind of gauge. And for me, one of the biggest months I had was like 10, 15,000 views. And that's actually people clicking on the actual listing. So that's a lot of views, but you got to think the impressions on eBay, things like that on eBay. It's so much more the worldwide, ability for eBay to see your stuff. So huge difference between Facebook Marketplace. So that's one big thing, is the actual market. It's just so much larger, mainly on other platforms. Facebook Marketplace, the market is small. There is people on there that sell stuff, but it's more local. I encourage that stuff for sure. But I did it. I will tell you, I had hundreds of listings. I didn't get flooded with messages like you might think on stuff. You would get the occasional person, is this available in the middle of the night? And they didn't really, whatever. You had those. But even with 300-400 that I had, I never had that problem. And again, I told you already, it kind of tapered off anyway. All of the traction that I had died off. I mean, there was 1 month I flooded it. It was October of last year. I flooded the market, at least Facebook Marketplace market, with DVDs. I didn't see anyone else really doing it, to be honest. I saw people doing bulk listings, and I don't know, I just thought that, and it was something I did. So kind of ties into part 3, and that is the network that you're surrounded by. If you are not surrounded to a big network, and this doesn't mean personal, you just be on Facebook groups, for example. If you're not on 20 groups or more, you can share a listing up to 20 groups. So that's a lot of groups. And so anyway, I was only able to join like 13 or 14 local groups. And so what I would do, just because, it's a lot of work to put in those listings, put it online for shipping and also make it local. So, that's another nice part about, of course, Facebook Marketplace, is the local aspect is way easier than anything else. So you can totally do all of that. You can set it all up. But that's one other benefit. There's tons of benefits, that you can find with it, but there's certain things, again, that the other platforms like eBay, I would rather invest my time and energy into. But that's another big thing about Facebook Marketplace. Other big thing, of course, and this is probably my biggest pet peeve, probably my last point on it, and I say it's a pet peeve because I'm a seller, but I totally buy all the time. And it's very frustrating, of course, when I try to buy and I get ghosted. And the problem with Facebook Marketplace is it's personal. It's someone's personal Facebook most of the time, which means it's their Facebook. They can totally look at it and either forget, which is, of course, you got to give that chance. But whatever, like they maybe didn't have what you asked for. They didn't want to tell you they didn't have it. The list goes on. The problem is they'll ghost you, and it's something that just frustrates me. You can rate them and stuff like that, but really you can't with that. But I don't even want to leave a bad rating. It's that it's personal. And so you got to keep that in mind when you're selling on there at your personal Facebook page. And so, if you don't want to be bothered on a Sunday afternoon about movies, well, then you probably shouldn't be using your Facebook for marketplace purposes. So anyway, that's just some thoughts after doing it. Again, I have now taken down my listings. In the next week, I'm actually going to completely take everything off of my Facebook Marketplace store and start over. And I'm going to kind of maybe reapproach what I sell on there. Maybe focus it more on the average per value of the actual bundles and stuff like that and not do singles. There's a big difference between singles and individuals and stuff like that, or bulks and stuff like that. So anyway, more of those videos to come. Again, this is today's video for week 4's update on eBay's challenge. So again, April's challenge was great, but May's I think is gonna be fun. I haven't officially released it yet because I'm still working on getting those listings done. I've got all these movies behind me here to list. I'm gonna try to get to 500 in May. That's my goal, is to get 500 listings on eBay. Get them ready to go and see what happens. I've got some promotions too, just to try. And so if you like this kind of stuff, like the video, please. I know this is a long video, but if you liked it and you stuck around, you might as well like the video. This is something that I try to do, is just talk about physical media. So if you like that sort of thing, more content to come. If you like today's video, make sure to comment down below. Say what's up. All right, guys, until the next video. Peace.